They are united, man. The enemy is united.
Yeah.
They are on the same page, bro.
Yeah.
And here we are as pastors, and we can't even unite during quarantine.
Wow.
Right.
Wow.
Ain't nobody going to your church, bro. So it's like, we good.
Hi guys, my name is Tawana Burks and I am co-founder, visionary leader of Culture New Norm. And I am here with some of my brothers, some of my friends, and we are here to have a conversation about the state of the church. We want to know what is going on during this time, 2020. We know that it has taken a turn that we were not expecting. And so we just want to know, like, what is the Lord saying? Where are we going? So I'm going to kick it off by having us introduce ourselves. So I'll go to Joe. Start with you.
All right. Hello, everybody. I'm Pastor Joe, Pastor Joseph Igwe III from Word of Prayer Cultural Center in Largo, Maryland. I am a husband, I'm a father, and I'm a servant of God.
Awesome. Love it.
Bishop.
Bishop.
Hey, I am Nelson Bowen. I pastor Engaged Church in Waldorf, Maryland. I myself am a father as well, married for 5 years.
Yes.
And, I'm looking forward to hanging out with you guys, man.
Love it.
Hi, I'm Dorian Baker, and myself and my wife together, Leah Baker, we together co-pastor Life Ticket Church in Herndon, Virginia. And we've been at it for over 4 years now.
Wow.
And I'm just excited to be here to have this conversation with everyone today. And we've been married for, this is our 21st year of marriage.
Wow.
So I'd love to shout that out.
But he doesn't look like it. It's like,
Right.
Grace.
Grace.
I'm Clifford Gaines. I am a youth pastor / regional youth director at L3 Church. I am a father and a husband of 3, soon to be 4 kids. So, yeah.
Love it. So, guys, we are in for a treat. These men of God are mighty in the Lord. I really admire the way you guys lead people, the way you love people, and the way you actually connect people to the Lord. And so, we're going to actually jump into the first question, and I can't wait to hear you guys' perspective on these questions. So, question number 1. When the news hit the world that we were in a global pandemic and that we would be going into lockdown, what were your initial thoughts personally and as it relates to church? Like, what was your initial response that week 1 lockdown? Like, what were you guys thinking? Like, what were your thoughts?
I get a break.
Real talk.
I'm just being for real. I get a break. I ain't gotta go to church. I ain't gotta preach to nobody. Sundays I was kicking it.
Oh my
I
God.
was kicking it. Kicking it, man. I'm serious.
My wife was
Really?
like, we need this forever. You home every day. I'm like, God dang.
I was kicking it, man. We were pre-recording. Sunday, I wasn't even watching my own church sometimes. I hang out with some other folks.
Yeah, I mean, well, for us, actually, when the news came out about the shutdown of schools, because we meet in a school, we were literally having our team meeting at the same time the news came out. We were talking about what do we need to do, like have a sanitizer and all the cleaning we need to do. And then the news came out that the schools were closing down as we were on this meeting. And so it was a real shift. But I felt the same as well. I felt like, wow, this is going to be like never before. Like everything's going to change now. I thought it was just for us because we were meeting in a school. Maybe other churches are going to be, keep meeting.
Yeah, no, we went to school too, so.
Yeah. So I didn't know what to expect. But I agree with Nelson, like a break.
Wow.
And it was a needed break.
Wow.
On the other side, though, spiritually, I felt like, you know what, this is what the church is here for. We are called to heal. And when we heard about coronavirus, there wasn't a lot to know about it when it first happened, but I was like, yeah, game on. Like, let's go. That's before we knew a lot of the things about, the social distancing, but that's how we felt.
Yeah, I agree. Now, when the news first broke, I don't think we really realize how serious it is.
Right.
Yeah.
So, you know, just thinking, okay, we might have some people who are a little more nervous about coming to church or something like that. But then as things progressed and as we got the stay-at-home order, it's like, oh, okay, so we gotta make some changes. We gotta seek the Lord. What's going on?
I think it took most people 2-3 weeks to really.
Yeah.
Exactly. Oh, yeah.
Week 2.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
Me too.
That's why I
Yeah.
said my first response was
Yeah.
like, bet.
Right.
Yeah.
Come here, I ain't gotta pay the school. I ain't gotta pay these folks. And then, I mean, I don't know about y'all, but our church was just tired. Man. We run a very fast-paced culture. And so for us, I was really looking at those first couple of weeks like, this is much needed. Church has never had an off season.
No.
Right.
Ever.
Yeah.
Off-season. And I'm like, man, we got an off season, yo.
Yeah.
Now 3 months, and I'm like, yo, what the word?
Right. Exactly.
When we getting back to training camp, something, right?
Yeah.
Like something. But no, I think that's my initial response was more so just, man, what an awesome opportunity
Like,
for
ooh.
people to get much needed break, much needed rest. But I think about 3 months in.
Now we're gonna get to that one next.
Okay, my bad.
We're gonna no, because I want us to go deeper on that part, like that transition. But I think it's interesting. Oh, go ahead. Did you have something
I
else to
think in
add?
the beginning, like, I remember that first week, it was kind of like surreal. Like, is this really happening? Are they really shutting everything down? Like, I was kind of in disbelief. And then you're thinking in your mind, I feel like in the beginning, you're like, this ain't gonna last too long. Like, I remember thinking like 2-3 weeks, we'll be back to normal life. And I remember as the second week progressed, I was like, I think they actually gonna keep doing this for a little while.
Everybody got a
And-
cousin at the Pentagon
Yeah,
telling
and
me.
everyone had a hookup like, oh no, we about to end it on this date, so and so. I'm like, all right, cool. My mom had an FBI and neighbor, and she's like, yeah, it's gonna be over in a month. And we're like, okay, cool. Like, I'm like, man, it's 6 months later. Like, what's going on? But
I
like,
wasn't going to no grocery store. They were like,
yeah,
telling me.
and that's how it is.
Get to the grocery
Yeah,
store.
right. So I ran out. I'm like, yo, this line at the grocery. I'm next time around, babe, I'm going another time. I ain't staying at 3 hours to get some
that
food.
first month, I spent more money on groceries.
I know, same.
I did Instacart, and they jacked up the price because I refused. I was like, I'm not going in there. Like, who knows what they got? And they like, she's like, the Instacart's here, and I was like, dang, that was fast. We did like Instacart for like 4 weeks, and after I was like, man, these prices are a little shifty. Like, I don't know if they charging the right thing. I was like, I'll brave it. I'll go to the store.
That's actually hilarious about those Pentagon texts.
telling you,
They
everybody-
came, they were, because you felt like you had personal insight in your life
Right.
until you found out everybody.
Yeah, we were like, we ain't all got the same cousin.
Right.
I'm making this up.
And then you get one to say this week. You said that last week. Yeah. It's like, okay.
It was a lot. Oh my gosh. But I wanted to put a pin in the part where you guys unanimously said that it was good to have a break.
Yeah.
That like you felt that it was time to like rest.
It wasn't unanimous.
It wasn't. So that wasn't yours. Oh, that wasn't yours. What was? So what did you?
Because So even if I thought that for a second, I feel like things have been into overdrive. You know, just having to come up with the different ways that we're going about things.
But your initial response?
My initial response, I didn't really think about a break.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's why I said I ain't
That's
gonna
that
follow
right. That's that.
You
Come
the
on. The bishop.
I didn't.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
all right.
amazing.
So you were just kind of like
My first
thinking
time in like
about
7 years.
yeah. So you were basically just kind of thinking about where we're going, like where you're going, like what's next.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome.
But also, I guess I don't know if the church is like a setup breakdown or if it's
Right, and that
that has something to do with
We're
it.
portable.
Yeah,
Right,
portable churches.
versus
okay.
permanent.
Yeah.
Right.
That makes a
So
lot of
6:30
okay.
a.m. setup for 4 years, bro.
Yeah.
Wow.
No, we know about that.
Yeah.
We
You used to be
but
there.
Yeah.
Okay.
So maybe that is
Maybe
a,
the setup is.
Yeah, it plays into it when you have 2 hours of church, but you have a 7-hour Sunday to make that 2 hours,
I
those 2 hours
see.
happen.
Right.
And it wears
For 4 years.
Yeah, for 4 years. So it wears on the people, and especially when you're leading the people,
Right.
even if you're not doing a majority of the work, you feel what everyone else
Right.
is feeling, and it feels like, well, you know what, it's time for a little bit of a break, not knowing that it was going to be as long as it was.
Yeah. Wow.
absolutely.
Okay. That's good. I love that. I know. I think that first week I definitely was like, oh, this is great. Like,
Yeah.
it's finally okay for Bedside Baptist, right? like this is like, all right. And I think that second week I felt it. Like I was like, oh, like I felt it the second week, and then after that it was like fine. But going into where you were gonna go, Pastor Nelson, is so as the weeks continue to go, like as we continue to, when it got longer than we expected, how was it, especially like leading people, how was it journeying through that? Like what were your thought processes? Like how was it as like, it was like, okay, I thought that, okay, 1 or 2 weeks would have been fine, but like 1 or 2 months, 3 months, like, so how was it as it like progressed for you?
They won't look at me.
I'll share. I think for us, the biggest thing was like, as like, I'd say like week 3 to 4, as a church at the time with the youth group, we were kind of like, we have to figure out something. And honestly, I think older generation may be a little bit easier next time. For this younger generation of like, you got like a Zoom call, like what do we do? Like, do we have games? You start realizing like you got to kind of be a little bit more creative.
Yeah.
But the one thing that I felt like for all churches that I've seen when this time is like where we are right now was like, it forced us to be multifaceted in the facet of like being able to be open to everyone. And I think the one thing that I want to make sure that I say this because of this is like, I think now more people see church than ever because of the recordings, because of Facebook, because of Instagram, because of YouTube. And I look at where we are now with some of the stuff, and it's really, there's things that are so negative, and I think there's things that are really positive. I think one of the biggest things is how many people church reaches now because of the pandemic.
It was crazy. The third week into this, there was a report that said there were more people watching church than seeing it.
Yeah.
At 11 a.m., which is ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's
Wow.
ridiculous. Which is ridiculous.
There's one.
Go ahead.
There, I was thinking. There's one thing that my dad told me earlier on in this, the real bishop, and he was saying, you know what, Joe, it's like right now, you know, all churches are mega churches. Like all churches have the same platform, you know, and that was something to think about. Like we're assessing everybody in the same way. Yeah.
For us, it was a challenge because there's different perspectives and different levels of faith that people have. So when it initially started, and as we got further in, we have people that are like, that believe God, that we've been called to go out and do a work and to still serve the needs of the community, that we see ourselves as essential as the hospital workers and first responders. And so with that, there was a group of people within our church that are like, look, let's get out and be the church. So we were able to do some of the things, like we gave away free beans and rice and bottles of water, toilet paper, things like that. But then there's another side, a perspective, and I hate to call it a different level of faith, but maybe just a different faith perspective, and that no, I'm not going outside, and I'm not going to give anybody rice and beans because I don't want to put myself in harm's way, and I believe God has given us, you know, the wisdom to stay inside. So that was a real tension in our church with our people. You know, the ones that are like, hey, let's just stay on Zoom, and then other people like, no, let's get out and be the church. So that was a real tension for us.
I agree. I know. What was interesting though is that we had just took our creative team to Vegas. And we were going to Vegas. We were discussing how do we diversify our platform. So we literally upgraded like all of our stuff right before this thing hit.
Oh wow!
So I really looked like I was a pastor when this thing came in. 'Cause I was saying, I think historically the church has spent millions of dollars to reach hundreds, if not thousands, of people. And with this, and where I was kind of going is that you can spend thousands and reach hundreds of millions through this digital platform. And so we were already thinking through that. I think about 3 weeks in, I looked at our show. I said, the church is never going back to this way. I said it will never, ever, ever. And one of the things I was thinking through, I said the same way that COVID has a higher death rate for older people. It's going to do the same thing with churches.
Yeah.
Where if you are old, not even just in years, but in mindset to how church works, your church will not survive this.
Right.
That's good.
It will not survive it.
Right.
And so we immediately started thinking about where's the church going? Not even like how do we get back? Because getting back, and then we were in the school, and so I told I literally told our team, I said, we may not ever go back.
Yeah.
We may not ever go back. And so if we don't, then what does it look like? And I think what began to be challenged was the word church. What is that?
the church?
Right.
What is it? And what have you built your theology on as it relates to church? Right? And so it took us, I mean, weeks upon weeks of just meeting, trying to figure out, where are we going? Not even like, I think we gave 3 weeks in, I'm looking around and stuff and I'm saying, man, this economy shut down and you can't touch this and touch that. The church is about high five your neighbor, pass the offering, take a connection card. I said, oh, this thing is definitely coming straight for the way we do church.
Wow.
Right.
So we need to be thinking through what's the different format. And so that's kind of what we shifted to about that almost a month in. I'm like, yo, we got to really figure out where we're going.